Laura A. Grace here, the author of Dear Author, Letters from a Bookish Fangirl, Team Lines of Poetry collection, and Finding God Anime Devotional for Otakus, which is free on a variety of platforms. I'll leave a link down below in case if you'd like to check it out. Happy Wednesday, my friends. I am so excited you're here. We are kicking off another month of prompts for Top 5 Wednesday, and I am so excited. Oh my goodness, it is going to be such a great month, and I look forward to all of these videos. I really hope that you guys also enjoy them as well. And if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, I'll leave a link down below to go check it out. Check us out on Goodreads. But in a nutshell, basically our host creates a series of prompts, and then on Wednesday, we answer those said prompts, but I usually use manga instead of books. And today's prompt is new to you. There are always new books releasing, am I right? Like, there's always new manga, books. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of book it is. There's just always new stuff releasing. So it's easy to fall behind. So today we're spotlighting either newly released books or books that may have been out for a while, but they're new to us. And I am so excited for these picks. I struggled with two of them, and I decided, and we're going to go ahead and start off with those first, because I wrote out a list of what I was going to feature, and then for like the last two, I was like, I'm not really happy with that. I was like, I want to do something else. Let's talk about something else today. So let's go ahead and kick off with number one. I am going to do the digital manga Getting Closer to You. Oh my goodness. I read this at the beginning of April, and it was everything I love in sports manga. Well, like shoujo sports manga. Oh my goodness. The perfect blend of sports and romance. I'm here for it. I saw volume 2 just released, and I'm like, I need it. I need it. Like, this is one time that I'm like, I'm okay with the love triangle. I'm okay. I'm going to feel confident in this manga that the main dude that I'm cheering for, him and the girl are going to get together, because I'm like, they are so precious. They are so sweet. He is just a gentleman to her, and just, oh my goodness, I love their romance so much. So I'm feeling confident that the mangaka is going to protect the ship in volume 2, despite that we have a new guy. But I'm like, it's okay. This is shoujo sports manga, and shoujo sports manga is my jam. I cannot get enough of it. The only thing I find really interesting is why do shoujo sports manga like usually center around basketball? Basketball is a great sport, don't get me wrong, but I am so desperate for a volleyball shoujo sports manga. Like, please, like, make the dude play volleyball for my benefit. I mean, like, that is the one thing I would love, like, Haikyuu and shoujo to meet. Boom, that is the series I need. Like, that is a series I strongly desire and so desperately want. But anyway, back to Getting Closer to You. This manga is a fairly new release. I didn't really know, well, I didn't know anybody that had read it, honestly, but I had read, like, the preview on Kodansha, and I laughed so hard. Like, we're talking about, I was on the floor holding my stomach, belly laughing. I love it. It is so good and full of laughter, and I really love the main girl. I cannot remember her name, but she is a great heroine, and it's such an interesting read because she is obsessed with muscles, and she actually gets a nosebleed when she sees beefcakes, and it is the most funniest thing to me. I'm like, I don't love muscles like this, but it is hilarious following a girl who is, and it goes so well with the sports element and how she uses her love of muscles and for muscles and protecting those muscles into this sports team. Oh my goodness, it is so very good. Like, I need volume 2 because, man, I really enjoyed volume 1. And talking about digital manga, let's go on to number 2. I'm going to feature Crimson Prince. I initially read this for the ABCs of shoujo manga for the letter C, and it was pretty funny. I got this when it was like 99 cents, and I was like, the cover is super cute. I don't know what happened, okay? I don't know what happened from the time I bought the digital manga to the time I went to read the digital manga, because I usually don't read the blurbs right before I start reading. Like, I like going in fresh. Now, I definitely read them before I buy the book, because I'm like, I want to know what this is about. It's very rare that I just buy a manga purely for the cover alone. I feel like The Abandoned Empress was one, though, that I did, and I also trusted the people that gave me the recommendations, so it does happen, but I don't feel it's like very often that it happens. So anyway, so I didn't read the blurb before I started that, and I was like, I thought in my head that I was like, okay, he's a vampire, I didn't know that he was like this demon prince. And I'm just like, oh, like this is so different than what I was expecting. I didn't love the fantasy aspect of that manga, but wow, the shoujo, it is a shoujo manga, and the romance was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. And I should say I like the fantasy aspects. I just didn't love the beginning. And I think it's just because I was like, he's a demon prince, he's not a vampire. In that moment, I was like, I want something with vampires. So that really threw me off in the beginning very, very much. And it wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I was expecting in the beginning. But I can't remember that guy's name either, but I love the progression of his story in that volume alone. I don't know if I would buy the rest of the volumes. Like now, if my library has it, I would love to know what happens next because the mystery that's woven in with our main character is very, very good. And I'm just like, okay, I'm like, we got something going on where it looks like we got a potential romance, but it's not exactly one that our main guy is fond of. And there's just other elements at play that are creating this great sense of mystery around the female love interest. And I'm just like, okay, but I had a really good time when I read it, and it was definitely new to me. I feel like this is I believe it was published by Yen Press, and it's been out for some time. And I was like, I've never heard of this, and I wouldn't have probably picked it up except for that ABCs of Shoujo and Manga. So that was really fun, and it was just an interesting read. I would definitely recommend it if like you are interested in sort of like because it looks like there's like a battle between angels and demons, and that's how the story sort of opens up, is that you're seeing that the demon prince, that he needs to go to Earth and he needs to find the human who could like not only bring all this chaos to the like demon realm, but could like totally wipe them out, because I guess they don't know for certain that the human could be an angel, maybe an angel in disguise. We really don't know. That's part of why I want to read volume 2, because things happen, and I can't say because spoilers, but you know, typical bookish shoujo stuff happens, and I'm like, there's a lot of good elements that are really going for this. So I would definitely recommend it to somebody that's interested in like paranormal, shoujo, light romance, and just a pretty cute story and a very, very cute cover, because that cover definitely influenced me picking up that volume. For number 3, this was another series that I actually read for the ABCs of Shoujo Manga, the letter C, and that is Cactuss Secret. My library has had Cactuss Secret at like on the shelf for the longest, and a long time ago I picked it up. I didn't have time to read it and I returned it, and then finally this time I actually picked it up with the intention of really reading it, and I did. This series released, I don't know actually when this series released, come to say that. Wow, this series released back in March of 2010, so I am super late to the party. This was a very cute read. I did not love the whole story like I thought I would, but the main girl is so sweet, and you know, she definitely has this strong shoujo heroine vibe that when she is determined to do something despite what other people are telling her, especially when it involves the guy she likes, she is going for it. I think the only thing that like didn't super resonate with me is I just didn't like how much she changed herself, that she felt she needed to so the guy would like her, and there's things that with that, but I really did enjoy the later volumes quite a bit. The romance aspect was very good, and I was so glad that I was about to say a spoiler, that things happen sooner than I expected. That was very, very nice, and I did like how this had a deeper, richer element to it of, it wasn't just about the main character getting with the guy that she liked. There were real life concerns and issues that came up that she had to address with the guy that she liked. That was very, very, very good. This was a series that I would definitely recommend if you're looking for something short and you want something where like the main storyline is not just about the main girl getting with the guy, like that there's more to it. Like, so there's richer layers that I just really, really enjoyed, especially in this final volume, because it just, I don't know, maybe it was like typical drama in shoujo manga, but I felt like it was not typical because of the issue that was being talked about. So it was really good. I'm glad I finally read this series. Like I said, it's new to me, and I'm just like, I'm glad that I know about it now. For number 4, this series I actually don't know anything really about or that I recall, because this was sort of like not a cover buy, this was more of a genre buy, because I have realized I really love the redeemed villainous trope. And so the name of this manga is The Most Heretical Last Boss Queen from Villainous to Savior. Such a long title. And originally this was a light novel, and light novels have those super long titles, which I think is really cool, because I'm like, usually in like Western novels, we don't have titles that long. So I think it's sort of cool. But I was really excited to pick this up. My friend Mariah Jane actually put this on my radar, and I was like, this sounds really good, because she dies, she comes back, but she comes back in an otome game where she is the villainess, and rather than save herself, she's like, I'm going to use my powers and I'm going to save everybody else so that they stay alive even if she herself dies. And I loved that concept. I really, really loved that. I was like, you got me sold already when the main person is willing to put their life on the line for their friends to keep them safe and let them have a good life. Grant, I hope she has a good life. Like, I definitely want that for our main girl, like hands down. And look how cute they are. They're so adorable. I did skim through this a little bit, and it seems like they're younger than I expected. And I was like, man, because when I got the manga, I was like, she looks sort of like a younger kid, not an adult. But on the light novels, at least for volume 2, she looked like an adult. So maybe it's like the manga. Let's see if I remember it. Sorry, I forgot, so I had to look. But I was reincarnated as the villainess in Otome game, but all the boys love me. But all the boys love me anyway. Something along those lines. Because in volume 1, it centered around when she was a young girl, and then when we get to volume 2, we actually see her as an adult, as she's like 18, I believe. So I think this manga is going to be the same case. But I'm really excited to start this. I don't remember why I bought it, but it was sort of like a whim buy. That was like, I'm undecisive. I was like, we're getting it. And funny enough, ever since I did that with this, anytime I have seen a manga that has the redeemed villainous trope, I'm like, we need to get that. We need to get that. We need to pre-order it. And I put it on my radar so that I can't forget. Like, there's one coming out in September that I'm really curious about. But anyway, we're on this manga. And so this is a new release. I think it just released. No, I take it back. It came out in March. Oh my goodness, this has been out that long. I meant to like start this sooner, but I did go ahead and pre-order volumes 2 and 3. I did that during the Barnes & Noble sale, the pre-order sale that they had. That was a really good deal. I was pretty shocked how much money was saved through that deal, to be honest. So maybe I'll wait for those other pre-orders to come in and then start this. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll just see whenever I get hit with that bug to pick up another redeemed villainous, because I just read one the other day. Anyway, I can't wait to read this. This is a new to me manga, and I have only seen one other person talk about this, and they said that she was a very epic heroine, and it leaves me very excited and hopeful for this story. For number 5, this is another new release, so hold on though, let's see. I think this one definitely came out in April. Okay, we got that right. This one actually did come out in April, and how you say it, hopefully I'm saying her name right. It's Magic Artisan Delilah? Wilt No More? I'm not sure. Originally, I kept calling her Delilah, and I was like, this is not Delilah from the Bible, Laura. I was like, that's not the same girl. That's not even how you spell. There's no E in her name. So, anyway, I got this, actually. I pre-ordered it the day I started formatting, I think it was volume 1 or volume 2 of Fighting God Anime, and I'm so glad I pre-ordered this, because that was a very long and extensive day, and I was completely drained and wiped out from formatting that book. And so this was like my pre-treat, and oh, I'm so excited for this. This is an isekai story where she dies and she's reincarnated in a new world, but I believe she can use her like knowledge from her past life, where she comes and she creates magical tools. And let's see, I don't know if it says she invents specialized tools, finding pleasure in everyday activities. If this is like the light novel, I believe, because the light novel blurb says that her fiance actually dumps her, and so rather than like her in this misery that her fiance left her, she opens her own business using these magical tools, or she opens it under her father. But either way, like, she basically takes her life in her own hands. And I was very curious. That was actually why I picked this up. Though I do feel Maeve at Maeve of a Reading, I do feel like she recommended this and was the first person who put it on my radar, because I feel like she mentioned she was excited for this. So hopefully I have the right person, but I know distinctly that that person was what got me interested in this, and then like I said, just the day, I think it was like a week before, I went ahead and just pre-ordered it. So it's been calling my name. I've been waiting for it, and I cannot wait to just dive into the story. I really enjoyed some of what I've like just skimmed, where I read a page here and a page there. It sounds so great, and I have heard nobody talking about this. So apparently it's not just new to me, it's new to the manga community, because I'm like, who has read it? Who has enjoyed it or not enjoyed it? I want to hear their thoughts, and my goal was to do like a first impression of this manga and the Heretical Boss manga, but time got away from me, and I was like, I'm just gonna have to wait. But I really, really am excited to read this. This is, like I said, a new to me manga. Outside of the cover, I don't really know much about the series, I guess. Like at the time I got it, I didn't know really anything about it. So we're gonna see. She looks super cool. The covers are epic, and the feel of this manga, I know it sounds weird, 7 Seas, they may have their manga a little bit more expensive, but the feel of them is so nice. It is so, so nice. And that, my friends, are my 5 choices for today of new to me manga, and I would be curious to know, are any of these manga titles new to you? Have you read any? Have you seen them? If you've read them, what were your thoughts on them? And if you're like, well, I have seen other manga that's new to me, totally let me know. I would love to hear from you, friends. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!